that is the freedom and the independence of the media. That talks about the freedom, independence of the media and all that. Mandate us to be the gatekeepers, being the watchdogs. And so, as the watchdogs of the people's right, it is our responsibility to make sure that the people exercise their civic right. And their civic right is the right to vote. And the right to vote is the right to deepen democracy, the right to ensure that we guard our democracy jealously. And it is our also responsibility to inform and educate them to understand what it means to partake in such an ongoing election.
And along that line, what would you say would be the rating of how we've fared so far? We are in the month of July. We have some months more, about 4 or 5 months more to the general elections. When you look at the landscape and how we've discharged our duties, where would you put us?
I wouldn't even say we are in July. We are already in August.
Yeah.
In 2 days' time, we are in August. Let me commend the media in Ghana. So far, so good.
Okay.
You see, there is a saying in our local language that if you be a mensa, we still have to. We have been bothered and encountered with a number of unethical and unprofessional comments, remarks by some media practitioners and all that. There has been some recklessness among us and all that. But regardless, in general, I can say that at least we've done 80 to 90% or 80 to 85% better compared to the previous election. Because look, we have 4 or 5 months to go, and you see the atmosphere is not too charged like we all expected. But this election, like
the polarity of the climate.
Yes, of course, because we are having a governing ruling party who says, look, we want to break the 8. Like both parties, we've all done 16 years. It's time for us to break the 8. And you have the opposition party who say that, look, we have somebody who have been tried and tested, and you would never break the 8. We are making sure that we'll be the first person to go in opposition and bring same candidate but it's very dicey.
The dynamics are
yes. So I believe that for us to gag the peace, for us to ensure that the citizenry and the electorate exercise their civic right, responsibility, without fear or favor, without any intimidation or panic, we need to channel out the right of information.
Okay.
The information we put out there, it must be devoid of hate speech, must be devoid of disinformation or misinformation. We see there are clear examples of misinformation happening in our media landscape, in our airspaces. For me, I think that it is a cause for alarm, because you see what we have done. Look, even we gave a statistics as at 2020 or 2016. In July, by this time, we have had over 10 journalists who had already been attacked.
Yeah.
As we speak, due to our resolve to end impunity against journalists and our quest to make sure that journalists discharge their duty in a free, safe, secured environment, and based on what the measures we put in place. You remember early this year we have the records to blacklist some ministers of state, members of the ruling government, and all that. This has really now calmed the evil ones. In fact, even if they have the intent, they don't know how to execute it.
Right.
We know that they're still not going to sleep. They are still preparing to come.
Yeah.
But we are also awake. We are not sleeping. We've laid our boots, very ready. That we make sure that journalists discharge their work diligently.
Yes, and I know that has been high on your agenda.
Of course.
Protection of journalists in their line of duty.
Of course.
And we've seen sanctions here and there. Sometimes even MPs have to feel the brunt. They have to come to the GJA. We have those conversations. But people have said that getting into the election period is going to get worse. It's going to get thicker in terms of the climate politically. So what measures are we putting in place to ensure that we, like you said, the numbers are dwindling, but we want to see a total eradication of that?
You see, obviously we wish to eradicate this impunity. But I can tell you, you don't need a soothsayer to say that you cannot eradicate it completely. Even though it may pop up, it may come up, but we want to at least, we have put in place
to the barest minimum,
or to even mitigate whatever effect that it will have on our work.
Right.
Because we wouldn't want to sit down and then watch Louvre, and then we the same thing happened. It's just a few years ago. Ameswali is an issue which is still
we are still
which
dealing
is
with
still
that.
an issue of national discussion or national interest. And so we would want to sit. We don't want to sit down and wait for another Ameswali to happen. And so what the measures we have put in place is that, look, we have cautioned. The blacklisting is there. We have other measures. We have even more biting measures.
Right.
I wouldn't want to put it here. And that's why we are saying that we have laid our boot. And that what we have realized is that the blacklisting gave us the results we needed.
Okay.
The blacklisting really bites, and it's really giving us the kind of what do you call the expectation? Because right now, like I said, journalists go around, and they know that, look, even if I'm attacked, I know that we have the block, we have the GJA, we have the other blocks who rise to my what?
The defense.
Yes, to my defense and all that. So everybody goes out there with some clear mind, with some kind of a very clear thought, knowing that at least I'm safe.
Okay.
And so the other thing we are going to do, or we have cautioned, that if you're a politician, a group of persons, individuals, and you don't have the temperature, or the, let's say, commitment to accommodate journalists during this election period, just stay out. Just stay away from us.
Okay.
Because you see, if you come hostile, we will receive you with hostility. If you attack us, we will bite. And so it is not something like boot for boot, but something like doing everything to ensure that journalists are allowed to discharge their work.
Right.
Because we are there for the citizens. We serve as the bridge or the link between the governed and the governor. Between the government and the citizens they are ruling. And so if anybody wants to break that link, if anybody wants to break that bridge, you understand? To cut off that link,
that crucial role
we play, we will not allow that.
Definitely.
And that is why I'm there.
Right.
An attack on the media is an attack on the GJA.
Okay.
An attack on you is an attack on me. An attack on any camera person. An attack on anybody in the fort. It's an attack on me, the GJA president. And so I'll go all out.
Definitely.
And I've served that notice, really. And there's no way, nobody, no individual, no power can tame us, can gag us. We are ready. And we are saying that it is really having a biting effect, and we will continue with that measure. And like I said, we have other options available to us to explore when the going gets tougher. We are saying that, look, since we started this, as at now, we have recorded 3 major attacks. In the books, 3 major attacks. And you saw that this also affected our ranking on the World Press Freedom Index.
Definitely.
That means that we are doing something right.
Okay.
And so going to the elections, I am saying that all journalists need to know that the GJA, we are preparing, we are training journalists, we are building the capacity of journalists to ensure that at least their mental capabilities are really, you understand?
Prepared. So
prepared.
that when the D-Day comes, even before that, we are prepared.
We are prepared.
And I'm sure that all my colleague journalists listening to me this afternoon, we started from the morning, but we are in the afternoon now, are really energized and poised to go ahead and discharge our duties professionally and ethically. And knowing that in that discharge, when there are eventualities, the GJA is ready
we should be guided by the ethics of the profession.
Definitely.
We have the GJA Code of Ethics, we have the GIBA Code of Conduct. Let's be guided by it.
Okay.
Once we discharge our duty ethically, look, we shouldn't be afraid of anybody. I always say that, look, all of us here will vote. That means that we all have our political party, at least we all have interests, we all have one way or the other. But it's like a referee who is actually officiating a match, a football match, between, let's say, his country or his favorite team, another team. You don't expect him to display that biasness. You get it? When you are on the field, this time around, is when you're on the field, like a police officer, is when you're on the field professionally. You can do your whatever political other things behind, but the role we are playing, the citizens looks up to us, the whole country looks up to us. Observers, we have international observers. I know the EU, European Union have reached out. I know the international observers, ECOWAS, met us last week.
Yeah.
There are other bodies
Okay.
who have actually reached out on us to ascertain our preparedness towards the election. We are going to work hand in hand with the Electoral Commission, with the political parties, and all other key stakeholders. This is because we have to make sure that we protect institution of state.
Right.
It is our responsibility,
Right.
so that no individual, no group of persons can attack and break down institution of state. The media's sense of professionalism
Fantastic.
must be our personal responsibility.
Right.
That when you sit there, you know that where your freedom ends, another one's begins. And
Definitely.
so, press freedom comes with responsibility.
Okay.
Don't expect to enjoy
All
press
right.
freedom and then run away from its
From it.
responsibility. When the responsibility comes, you make sure that you bear it.
And we'll
Thank you.
definitely face it. And that's my president, the GJA president.